What's going on there, YouTube, and welcome back to another comic book video. Alright guys, so I want to try something new on my channel. I want to sit down and cover Ultimate Marvel. And the reason why, guys, is because growing up as a kid, that's all I read. For the longest time, I sat down and only read Ultimate Marvel. Now I did venture out and read other comics, but in the beginning, all I read was Ultimate Marvel, X-Men, Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, Hawkeye, Iron Man, Daredevil. That's all I read for the longest time ever. And so I said, you know what? Let's sit down and cover Ultimates. Now guys, two quick side notes. When it comes to Ultimate Marvel, you have to remember that this is a separate universe from the main Marvel timeline. But the second thing you also have to remember, that in this universe, they don't call their Avengers the Avengers. Instead, they call them the Ultimates. And so we're going to cover Ultimates Volume 1, Issue 1 through 6. And if you guys like this video, then we'll cover issue number 7 through 14, which is Volume 2. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and dive into Ultimates Volume 1. Here we go, guys. Now, guys, when it comes to Ultimates issue number 1, this book right here, this book is all about Captain America. Now, this is not really an origin story. I mean, it is, but we are not picking up with Captain America getting the super soldier serum. Instead, we pick up with Captain America about to go into battle to fight against the German army. Because right now, the German army is building a missile, and they're going to fire that missile at the White House. And so you have Cap and his team about to go into battle. Now, this is Mark Miller and Marvel saying, listen, when it comes to Ultimate Captain America, his origin story is similar to the main Marvel Captain America. They are similar. They are both fighting in World War II. They both try to be a big time superhero, and they both get frozen in time. We see that throughout this whole book. It's basically Captain America fighting against the German army and trying to get to them and stop their plans to destroy the White House. Now, the only thing that is different about Ultimate Captain America fighting against the German army, what in the world is army? Anyways, the German army, he's not fighting against Hydra. You know, in the main Marvel timeline, Captain America, he was fighting the German army, but he was also fighting against Hydra and the Red Skull. But in this timeline, he's not fighting Hydra. He's fighting the German army. But the thing is, though, they got some kind of alien tech that basically boosts up their army, made their army better. And so the missile they are using, yes, it's going to hit the White House, but it's going to destroy a big portion of America around the White House. And so you have Captain America be that same superhero in the main Marvel timeline. He gets on the missile and tries to stop that missile from hitting the White House and killing 1 million of people. Now, of course, like I said, it's just like the main Marvel timeline. When he dismantles a rocket, it explodes, and he flies off into the water. And of course, he gets frozen over time. And then we pick up in the present time, because right now we are with Tony Stark, and right now he's in the middle of the mountains just doing his thing, being a rich playboy, and he's saying how he is going to join Nick Fury's little superhero team, the Ultimates. But guys, when it comes to issue number 1, that's it. In issue number 1, all you see is the second half of Captain America's origin story. And then we move forward to issue number 2. Now guys, when it comes to Ultimates issue number 2, we pick up at the present time of Ultimate Marvel with Nick Fury and Bruce Banner. Now guys, little quick side note. Bruce Banner, he has already become the Hulk. The thing is though, S.H.I.E.L.D. was able to find a cure for the Hulk. And so right now, Bruce Banner is no longer the Hulk. But you do have Nick Fury saying, listen, I need your help. The president has restarted the super soldier program. He wants us to find a way to reproduce the super soldier serum. And I need your help, Bruce Banner. But I need to know, are you ready to work again? Because you were just a Hulk a few months ago and you killed a ton of people and you caused so much property damage. I need to know, are you able to work again? Now, you do have Bruce Banner say, yes, Nick Fury, I can work again. The Hulk is out of me. Thanks to S.H.I.E.L.D., that cure it helped me. It helped me get rid of the Hulk. And so you have Nick Fury said, fine, but I need to tell you two things real quick. The first thing is I am moving in your team to the main S.H.I.E.L.D. base. Your team from Pittsburgh, they're coming to our base. Now, he is talking about Hank Pym and Jan Pym, Giant Man and Wasp. And he's saying, listen, they're going to help us find a way to reproduce that super soldier serum. But the second thing I want to tell you, Bruce, is that you are second in charge of running this program. Your ex-girlfriend, she is going to run this program. Betty Ross is number one when it comes to this program right here. Now guys, when it comes to issue number 2, the rest of the book is basically Marvel sitting down with us and saying, here is your characters who are going to be part of the ultimate team. Giant Man, Hank Pym, Wasp, Jan Pym, and also Iron Man. For right now, it's just those 3 people right there who have officially joined the Ultimates team. And the thing is, in the rest of this book, it's Nick Fury just going around and basically talking to those people. We are getting introduced to the roster of this team. That's really it when it comes to issue number 2. You know, it's them saying, okay, yes, we will join the Ultimates team. Yes, we will move to the main S.H.I.E.L.D. base, but we will also help out to find a way to reproduce the super soldier serum. Now, the way issue number 2 closes though, is that some Marine team was able to find the body of Captain America. And so like I said guys, when it comes to Ultimate Marvel, when it comes to Ultimate Captain America, his origin is really similar to the main Marvel timeline. He was frozen in time, but luckily they were able to find him and unfreeze him. And so issue number 2 closes with Nick Fury finding out that they have found Captain America's body. The last person, the only person who was holding the super soldier serum. Now guys, when it comes to Ultimates issue number 3, this book right here is all about Captain America waking up into the 21st century, because he wakes up to Nick Fury and Bruce Banner, and they're both kind of like, hey man, listen, welcome to the 21st century. You are no longer in World War II. You have been frozen for a very long time, and one of our teams were able to find you and unfreeze you. And so we want to say, welcome to the 21st century. Now, for Cap, he's kind of like, okay, this is a lie. There's no way I was frozen in time for such a long period of time. This is a lie. These people must be working with the German army. And so you have Cap basically starts fighting against Nick Fury and Bruce Banner and a bunch of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents, because he believes that they are lying to him, that he has been frozen in time. He believes that he's still in World War II. And so he starts to attack Nick Fury, Bruce Banner, and a bunch of S.H.I.E.L.D. agents. Now, luckily for Nick Fury, he had already called up Hank Pym and Jan Pym, Giant Man and Wasp. He was kind of like, listen, I need you guys here right now because Cap is freaking out. He's over here freaking out and he's kicking our butt right now. We need y'all help. And of course, Giant Man was able to calm Cap down by basically putting his hand over him and saying, calm the hell down. And so, of course, Steve Rogers does calm down. He says, okay, you know what? Maybe they're right. Maybe I was frozen in time for a long period. Maybe I can believe these people. Now, we do jump forward in time because now we have Nick Fury taking Captain America to visit his old best friend, Bucky. Now, guys, this is one of the few things that is different about the main Marvel timeline and the Ultimate Marvel timeline. Because, guys, when it comes to Bucky, the Winter Soldier, he is well alive and young in the main Marvel timeline. But in this book right here, he's not young. He's old. He wasn't frozen in time or kidnapped by a different country. No, he is alive and well, and he is an old man. But he also married Captain America's ex-girlfriend. After Cap supposedly died, Bucky and her got together. And so it's Captain America visiting his old best friend Bucky and seeing that Bucky is old. Bucky is an old man and he's not. And that right there hurts Cap because he believes that he should have been dead or be old just like Bucky and his ex-girlfriend Gail. And so it's hard for Cap to see his friend as an old man. Now, Nick Fury does take Cap to the gravesite of his parents, Steve Rogers' parents. And he says, listen, your mom and dad, they died. Your siblings, they died. Now, you do have a niece, but she's out there somewhere. And matter of fact, she might not have a clue who you are. And so it's kind of like, dang, Cap has walked back into the real world to talk to nobody. His best friend's old. His ex-girlfriend is old. His parents are dead. His siblings are dead. All he has is a niece who lives in Idaho, who might not even know who he is. And so he says, listen, I'm done. Like, for right now, I need to go home. I need to go home and just rest because all this right here is so hard to take in at once. Now, we do jump forward like a couple days in advance. And right now, we're at the Triskelion, or how to pronounce the Ultimates base. But basically, we're now at the base of the Ultimates. And right now, you have the president, George Bush, by the way, George Bush and Nick Fury talking to each other. And they're talking about how is Steve Rogers? How is he handling being in the 21st century? And you have Steve Rogers meet the president, meet George Bush, and says, it's cool. I like the outfit. I like the shield. I know I'm in a new kind of world, but I will get used to this somehow in some way. And guys, that is really it when it comes to issue number 3. It's just Steve Rogers taking in the 21st century, realizing that he's no longer back in World War II. He's in a new kind of world, and he has to learn how to live in it. And it's going to be a challenge for him. Now guys, when it comes to Ultimates, issue number 4, this is the book right here, guys, where I have to say there is a lot of big moments in this book. But the thing is though, guys, all those big moments are done in just a few pages. So most of this book is just fluff. For example, Tony Stark is being interviewed. And the thing is, the world is starting to learn more about the Ultimates. Word is getting out that America and S.H.I.E.L.D. are putting together a superhero team to take care of future super villains threats. But the thing is, you have America wondering, But why though? We only had one super villain threat, and that was Magneto, and the X-Men stopped him. So why in the world do we need another superhero team if we only had one superhero threat? And guys, for most of this book, it's just Tony Stark trying to explain to America on why they are being formed into a superhero team. Now, we jump over to Nick Fury and Bruce Banner because guys, they are flying over to meet up with Thor, Ultimate Thor. This is our first introduction to Ultimate Thor and Ultimate Marvel. Now guys, real quick side note. When it comes to Thor in Ultimate Marvel, he is completely different than the main timeline Thor. He is completely different. But the thing is though, when it comes to Ultimates Volume 1, you do not get to see that. There's no chance for you to see the difference between the two Thors, not just yet. But in later stories, you are going to see how much different is Ultimate Thor from the main Marvel Thor. Now, you do have Nick Fury and Bruce Banner trying to talk to Thor and say, listen man, we need you to join the Ultimates. We got Giant Man, we got Wasp, we got Iron Man and Captain America. Like that dude right there is already a big name because he fought in World War II. Why not join the Ultimates? And you have Thor say, because I do not trust America. I don't trust your president. Why in the world should I join you people? Guys, when it comes to Ultimate Thor, I am not gonna lie. He is a hippie. He is a hippie. And he is saying right now, I will not help with you guys with your superhero team. So you guys flying over here was a waste of time. So go back home to your new superhero team and leave me alone. Now, we do jump over to Nick Fury talking to Giant Man and talking to Wasp. Because guys, word is getting out that the Ultimates might get their own movie. And so you have Nick Fury and Giant Man talking to each other about who should play them, what actors could play them in this movie. And the thing is though, as Giant Man goes on and on, the name Bruce Banner comes up. And so you have Giant Man saying, okay, we need some kind of creepy actor to play Bruce Banner because Bruce is a creepy short man. He's creepy, he's weird. You know what? You need an actor just like him. And the thing is though, guys, Bruce Banner, he overhears that and he says, oh, great. Almost every single person here thinks that I'm creepy, that I'm strange, that I'm useless. That's not cool. And so he runs off. And then we jump forward about a couple hours later. And we pick up with Bruce Banner using a phone booth to call up Betty Ross and say, listen, Betty, I have re-injected myself with the super soldier serum. But this time I made a few modifications. And he's saying, listen, I am going to Hulk out very soon. And you have Betty Ross ask him, why in the world are you going to do that to yourself? Why are you going to basically bring back the Hulk, the creature that killed a ton of people? Why in the world would you bring that back? He says, because I'm going to make the Ultimates famous. Because the world believes that this superhero team should not be made. That they believe this is a useless team. Because America, the world, they have only seen one super villain threat, and that's it. And that was Magneto. And so the world believes that this superhero team is pointless, it's useless. There's no need for a superhero team. I am going to show the world that the world needs a superhero team to protect it. And so right as book number 4 closes, we do see Bruce Banner start to Hulk out. And you have Nick Fury call in the Ultimates, Captain America, Iron Man, Giant Man, and Wasp, and says, guys, listen, Bruce Banner has hulked out. We need you guys to basically get ready for your first mission to fight against the Hulk. Now guys, when it comes to Ultimates, issue number 5, this is the book where you get to see the Ultimates come together and fight against the Hulk. Now, I did not mention this, guys, but back in issue number 4, when Bruce Banner called up Betty Ross, Betty Ross told Bruce Banner that she was on a date. And so with Bruce Banner right now being the Hulk, he is really upset because his ex-girlfriend, his ex-fiance is what? On a date with another man. And so this dude is going on a rampage through New York just to get to Betty Ross and her new man. Now, real quick side note. This is where we're going to see some things about the Hulk being different than the main Marvel Hulk. For example, this Hulk right here, he loves to kill people. He loves to eat people. And so right now, as he's going through his rampage, he's kind of like, hey, kill you, forget you, I will eat you later. This dude is beyond crazy. Now, he does find Betty Ross, but luckily for Betty Ross, the Ultimates arrive. And first up is Giant Man. Giant Man arrives and says, okay, I'm here. I'm the big guns. Let me take care of the Hulk right now, and we'll be done in like 5 minutes. The thing is though, guys, even though Ultimate Hulk is completely weaker than the main Marvel Hulk, he's still stronger than Giant Man. And so even though you have Hank Pym thinking that he can stop the Hulk shows Giant Man, no you can't, bruh. You and I, we are on totally different power levels. There's no way that you can stop me, the Incredible Hulk. And so Hulk almost kills Giant Man. Now, luckily for Giant Man, Iron Man does come in to save his butt. And so now you have Iron Man fighting against the Hulk. The thing is though, Iron Man is just like Giant Man, a completely weaker character, and the Hulk is just beating down on Iron Man. Now Iron Man was able to escape, but it's kind of like, dude, what in the world can the Ultimates do? Now you do have Wasp try to do her own thing to stop the Hulk. Of course it does not work, but now it comes down to Captain America. Now guys, this moment right here, it does seem like Cap can stop Bruce Banner. Captain America can stop the Hulk, because at first Cap was winning. He was beating down on the Hulk, and you have Nick Fury say, okay Cap, listen, you have the cure for the Hulk. Get that needle out and inject the Hulk and turn him back to Bruce Banner before he does anything else to make our day even worse. And so right when Cap was able to beat down the Hulk, and it seems like Cap was going to give the cure to the Hulk's all like, nah man, listen, you were able to get a good few punches in and basically slow me down for a few seconds, but I'm the Hulk. Just like Iron Man, just like Giant Man, just like Wasp, you are totally weaker than me. And so Cap, gone. Now, luckily for the Ultimates, Thor does arrive. Thor arrives and he's all like, what's up guys? I'm here. No, I'm not here for you guys. I'm here to save the innocent people from this maniac called the Hulk that you guys kind of did produce. So stand back, I got this. And so Thor goes in there. Now guys, at first, Thor is beating down on the Hulk. Thor is winning. But of course, the Hulk is still stronger than Thor. But luckily, after a few more fights between the Ultimates and the Hulk were able to defeat the Hulk and turn him back into Bruce Banner. And so, guys, book number 5 is all about the Ultimates coming together to fight against the Hulk. And the thing is, guys, that was Bruce Banner's goal. His main goal was to show the world that the world needs the Ultimates. The world needs a superhero team. And so book number 5, it basically shows the world this is why we have the Ultimates. Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Giant Man, Wasp. This is why we have this superhero team. Now, guys, when it comes to Ultimates issue number 6, this book right here is the final book of volume 1 of Ultimates. Now, this book right here, it only did 2 things in this book. And so the first thing this book did is show us the new relationship between Captain America, Iron Man, and Thor. You have Marvel saying these 3 people, after fighting against the Hulk, that right there just made a brand new friendship between these 3 characters. Because you have Iron Man invite Thor and Cap over for dinner, and they're talking and they're getting along and they're telling each other big secrets. Matter of fact, Iron Man, he sits down and says, listen, Cap, I was able to find some of your old World War II gear. The same gear you wore while you were fighting in that war, I was able to find that gear. And I want to give that gear back to you as a gift. And Cap's kind of like, yo, that's crazy. Then you have Cap talk to Iron Man and Thor and say, listen, it's weird being in the 21st century. You know, I was frozen in time for such a long time, and it's weird to be back here in the real world, but in the future where everything has changed. Now, you do have Iron Man tell Cap and Thor and say, guys, I do have one big secret I want to tell you guys. And that big secret is basically me dying because I have cancer. I have a brain tumor. And so it's kind of like, well, dang. Like Iron Man's dying, or he could die any moment. He even says, I have a few days or a few years, but I could die any moment now. And it's kind of like, well, crap. Like, dude, that's crazy. But it's Marvel showing us that these 3 characters are coming together as friends. Now, the second thing book number 6 does, and again, this is where we're going to wrap everything up. We pick up with Giant Man, Hank Pym, and Wasp, Jan Pym. And the thing is, Jan wants to go out for dinner. She wants to go out and have fun because thanks to her and the rest of the Ultimates, they just stopped the Hulk. They showed the world that the world needs a superhero team. But you have Hank Pym saying, no, we are not going out for a date. I'm going to stay here and continue working on my Ant-Man helmet because this team needs more powers to help protect the world. Now, you do have Jan kind of like talk smack to Hank. And she's kind of like, listen, it's okay to take a break. Let it go. Let's go out and have fun. But the thing is, Hank Pym keeps telling her no. And they start to argue and go back and forth, back and forth. And guys, this is where we get to learn a big secret about Jan Pym, aka Wasp. Because Hank Pym says to us that she is a mutant. That she's not just some girl with wings and powers. She is a mutant. And so he tells us that her powers are very completely different than the main Marvel Wasp. And so with that, she's kind of like, okay, yes, I am a mutant and my powers do some crazy things while we're in bed together, but let it go. He says, no, it's nasty, it's creepy, your powers are weird, I hate you. And like they start arguing and then they start fighting. And guys, this is Marvel bringing back the idea of Hank Pym slapping his wife in the main Marvel timeline. But in this book right here, it's a whole lot worse. They go back and forth, arguing, using their powers and everything against each other. But the thing is, when Wasp shrink down and tries to fly away, Hank Pym used the Ant-Man helmet to call in a bunch of ants to start attack her. And then he bug sprayed her, which basically poisoned her. And so at the end of issue number 6, Hank Pym, he snapped back and realized that he just might killed his wife using that bug spray. And that is where we're going to close up this video. But anyways, guys, please leave me a like down below. Also, subscribe for more comic book videos in the near future. But anyways, guys, I'm out of here, and I will see you guys on the next comic book video. Have a good day, guys. Later.